Sir, okay, sir.
Now they have also granted 3 additional stages for the Lieutenant Colonel, Colonel, Brigadier. Otherwise, they will again stagnate. Next. Now see, disability element. The 7th CPC said that disability element should be on a slab base. Slab base means if you are 100% disabled soldier, as an officer you will get 27,000 rupees. For lesser disability, it will be proportionately reduced. If you are a JSO, it will be 17,000. If you are a Jawan, it is only 12,000 rupees. So we said civilians have got the same good old system of percentage base, which I will come to a little later. Why armed forces should have a different system? Now the cabinet has also approved that let the disability element for the disabled soldiers of the armed forces also be same like civilians. Next is pension of the pre-2016 pensioners where we are affected will be decided by the 2 methods. One is known as the Notional Pay Fixation Method, another is by the 2.57 method. Whichever is beneficial, that pension is the one which is going to be given to you from January 2016. Next. This is what creating a lot of confusion with most of the ex-servicemen. They are mistaking the IOR for multiplication factor of 2.57. So let us understand what are these two. Firstly, what is the fitment factor? Now if you see any CPC, whether it is the 5th CPC, when you came into 5th CPC and when you have to transit into 6th CPC, the multiplication factor was 1.86. From 6th CPC, when we transited to 7th CPC, the multiplication factor is 2.57. Because in every pay commission, your pay goes up. So the multiplication factor is nothing but a factor which multiplies your previous pay to the new pay commission pay. In the case of the people who are now serving, their pay, as I told you, it will be multiplied by 2.57 and then fixed in the defense pay matrix. CPC, 6th CPC fixed the fitment factor of 1.86. That means if your pay was X amount in the 5th CPC, in the 6th CPC it will become 1.86. 10,000 means it will become 18,600. This is known as multiplication factor, so that you get a benefit with the to keep pace with the price rise. Similarly, the 7th CPC said your whatever your pay in the 6th CPC, it should be multiplied by 2.57. Now you see, why 2.57, why not 3.57 or 4.57? The reason is very simple. The ability of the government to pay higher pay. Otherwise, you can recommend any figure. Now, as on January 2016, the serving soldiers were already drawing a DR of 125%. That means 100 is your pay, 125 is your DR, so it is 2.25. So you are already getting 2.25 times your old pay. So naturally, in the next 7th CPC, you have to give a little more hike in the pay, and the 7th CPC said we can only do 2.57.
30%.
That is why 30% of increase. Next. Now you come to this confusing figure known as the Index of Rationalisation, which I will take a minute to explain to you. Now what is Index of Rationalisation? IOR is nothing but a multiplication factor to fix your pay of a serving officer JSOR in the 7th CPC. Please understand, IOR is for serving soldiers. The multiplication factor of 2.57 I just touched upon is for the pensioners. That is the difference. Now 7th CPC recommended the IOR depend upon the responsibilities of your particular rank and appointment and your accountability. Now 7th CPC recommended 2.67, 2.57 for various ranks, whereas when this was applied, the pay of a serving lieutenant colonel, colonel, brigadier and their equivalents in the Navy and Air Force was much lower, much lesser than their counterparts in the Central Armed Police Force like BSF, Assam Rifles, and ITBP and SSB. So that means your pay scales have been degraded. That's why the service headquarters said that this needs to be revised. So that's why it is only Lieutenant Colonel to Brigadier who suffered in the 7th CPC report. That has been enhanced to 2.67. Now if you watch this IOR, even by the 7th CPC, the second lieutenant nowadays, there is no second lieutenant, it has been abolished. Can a responsibility of a lieutenant and a brigade commander be same? Now you see, Major General 2.72, absolutely correct. After all, he has got much more responsibility commanding a division with 3 brigadiers under him. Now, Army Commander, yes, he also needs to be compensated because he commands 3 divisional commanders. Now you just see service chief. The 7th CP says, "नहीं यार वो ऐसा ही है, service chief वो तो सलाम मारता है हमारे जवान गलती में उसको कम कर दो." So their own definition of IOR is not being complied with. Next.
Just a point of this, sir. Now this, as you said it, a lieutenant and a brigadier, their responsibilities are different. When I see a lieutenant to brigadier now, they have brought down to 2.67.
Yes.
So I mean there is no rational, just like that. Okay, chalo, 2.67 de do, be happy.
Next. Now is the effect of IOR we must understand for the serving soldiers. Now, earlier when IOR of a serving lieutenant colonel was fixed at 2.57, how the entry pay? Entry pay is nothing but your pay in pay band and group pay, grade pay in the 6th CPC of a lieutenant colonel. It is 46,530 multiplied by 2.57, it comes to 1,90,600. Some people are under the impression this IOR has got no effect. But you will see, when the IOR has gone up from 2.57 to 2.67, naturally it goes up to 1,24,000 rupees. The IOR is the amount is always rounded off to the next 100 rupees. So earlier, a lieutenant colonel's first pay in the defense pay matrix is fixed at 1,19,600. Now there is a jump of almost 5,000 rupees. Because of this IOR getting enhanced from 2.57 to 2.67. The colonel 127,400 to 1,32,400. Again there is a jump of almost 5,000 rupees. Now brigadier from 1,34,000 to 1,39,000. Again a jump of almost 5,000 rupees. That means the initial pay earlier was less by 5,000 rupees. Now once your initial pay in the first cell is higher amounts, your increment for subsequent year is 3% of this amount. Now it is 1,24,200. You have 3%, your increment is much more. That we will see next. Now you see, earlier the increment was only 3,587 for a lieutenant colonel. IOR was 2.57. When IOR has gone up to 2.67, now his increment has also gone up to 3,727. So there is a marginal 150 rupees, but still better. Next. Now let us understand what is the defense pay matrix people keep talking about. Let us see. Now it is nothing but, if you see every CPC, whenever they make a new pay scale, there is a rank on one side, there is your pay. What was your pay in the previous pay commission? So everybody doesn't come under one pay only, depending upon the number of increments you have drawn. Somebody may be drawing 40,000, somebody may be drawing 42,000, 45,000. So depending upon what was your pension in the previous CPC, your pay will be more in the new. So it is nothing but defense pay matrix is another table fixing your pay in the 7th CPC. Please understand that. Now the first cell is the starting pay, assuming as if you are promoted to that particular rank in the year 2016, assuming. So naturally, the one who puts more service, if you are a major sub with six increments you are drawing in the 2015, compared to another major sub who just been promoted in 2016, your pay naturally in the 7th CPC will be much higher. You have to go down. You know what is the pension as on January 2016 for those pensioners who retire on or after January 2016. उसका pension क्या होगा? उसका pension is nothing but your difference pay, add MSP for your particular rank, divided by 2 is equal to pension. Why we are indirectly connected to difference pay matrix is our pensions of pre-2016 pensioners will be equalized with those who are retiring in 2018. That's why we must be interested about this difference pay matrix. Next. Now you see, difference pay matrix, what they did is, what is your entry pay? Entry pay means what was your pay in the 6th CPC. That is nothing but a pay in pay band plus grade pay for lieutenant colonel or brigadier. Now that is 46,530 rupees for a lieutenant colonel. Now your index of rationalization has gone up to 2.67. So your first initial pay, you multiply this with this. What will happen is, your initial pay is fixed as on January 2016, 1,24,200.
This is with 2.57.
67. No. It is with your 6th CPC pay multiplied by IOR, which is nothing but a multiplication factor. In the 7th CPC, how your pay will be fixed, I will come to it little later. The 2.57 will come into play, but that I will come to you. This is the first cell. That means the government says a lieutenant colonel who is promoted in 2016, we will give him pay of 1,24,200. Similarly, anybody who is promoted as a full colonel in January 2016, he will get this much. Similarly, brigadier sir. This is the first cell, starting pay in that particular rank in 2016 January. Now, second row is what? It is nothing but first row multiplied with 1.03. 3% is the interest increment. Third row is nothing but second row multiplied by 1.03. This is how the difference pay matrix is constructed. Now, how the pay of the pre-2016 officer JSOs war will be fixed. Next, fixation of pay. Now, pay in the pay band plus grade pay in the 6th CPC as in December 2015 for the defense services personnel. Understand, this is different than the civilians. For civilians, it is what is your pay in January 2006. Whereas the defense services personnel, it is December 2015. I will come to that later. And that, whatever is your pay, if it is 10,000 rupees, you multiply it with 2.57 to come into 7th CPC. Okay? See the figure in the defense pay matrix for that level. A Sipahi is 3, Nayak is 4, Havaldar is 5, like that. There is the levels. Your rank is a level. For example, a lieutenant colonel is 12, colonel is 12A, 13A is the brigadier, like that. In that particular level, you see, locate this particular amount in the defense pay matrix. Generally, it won't be there. You go to the next higher. I will explain to you with an illustration. Next. Now, let's say lieutenant colonel. His pay in the pay band in 6 CPC was 49,400. His grade pay was 8,000 rupees. So, his pay in January 2016, multiplying with 2.57, multiplying with 2.57 is 1,47,580. Okay. Now, nearest to this figure of 1,47,580 is in the defense pay matrix is 1,48,600. So, his total pay in January 2016 is 1,48,600 plus his MSP of 15,500. That will be his pay. So, it will be different for different lieutenant colonels who have higher increments. Here we took only 49,400 for one case. There could be another lieutenant colonel who might have been drawing 52,000 rupees. So, multiply this pay with 2.57. There could be another lieutenant colonel who has drawn large number of increments. This may be 55,000. Multiply with 2.57. Like that. Next. Defense pay matrix to lieutenant colonel brigadier. The effect is basically to enhance the first cell in the defense pay matrix. This you have to understand. Next. Now, This is the revised pay matrix with the 2.67. If you see the Army Pay Rules 2017, it is still based upon IOR for Lieutenant Colonel and Colonel at 2.57 only, whereas it has to be 2.67. This is the 2.67. For brigadiers, the IOR was announced almost 4-5 months back. That's why the Army Pay Rules 2016 takes this IOR of 2.67 for brigadiers. For Lieutenant Colonel and Colonel, it is the old 2.57. Now this is the new one. This is how your pay as a serving officer will be fixed. Next. Now pay and promotion. How is pay and promotion of an officer who gets his promotion in 2016 or 17 or 18 or 19? How it will be done? Simple. Suppose nowadays lieutenant colonels are getting promoted as a full colonel when they put in 15 years service. Good thing. And his pay as a lieutenant colonel is 1,32,000 in this 7th CPC. Now pay fixation is done by giving one increment in the rank of a lieutenant colonel only. The moment he is promoted as a full colonel, his pay of 1,32,000 in the lieutenant colonel's rank, give him one increment in the same rank of lieutenant colonel, it goes to 1,36,000 rupees. Now next, move to the colonel's level, from lieutenant colonel level vertically down, we go to the colonel's level, that is level 13, and see a figure which is close to 1,36,000 rupees. Next. Next. I think I have explained this, we need not go over this. Next. 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 Now this is the thing which we should be concerned because it affects our pensions in 2016. We all been given our pension fixation, our pension enhancement by 2.57 method. Whatever was your pension as on December 2015 is multiplied by 2.57 and that's what the pension you are drawing. But some people, for example army commanders, their pension as of today is their old pension of 40,000 multiplied by 2.57, which comes to approximately 1,04,000 rupees. Whereas in the notional pay fixation method, his pay is to be fixed as a army commander in the 7th CPC defense pay matrix, which is 2,25,000 rupees. Half of it is your pay, pension. So that means 2,25,000 divided by 2 will be 1,12,500. So the army commanders, maybe senior lieutenant generals, they are benefited by this notional pay fixation method. I will explain to you how it is done as I understand. Comparing to the civilians. Civilians, it is very simple. Whenever you retire, 3rd CPC or 4th or 5th or 6th, please take your PPO. Your PPO shows your pay at that time, maybe 300 rupees. When you move from 3 to 4th, there is a multiplication factor which the Ministry of Pension personnel, they know it. Multiply with that 300, multiply with that multiplication factor, it may be 6,600 rupees. Thereafter, another multiplication factor from 4th to 5th, another multiplication factor from 5th to 6th, another multiplication factor from 6th to 7th. It is the multiplication factor for every CPC has to be built in the civilians. If you see that 12th May letter of the civilians, it's got a columns. 3rd CPC में इतना था इसका, 4th CPC में इतने, 5th में इतना, 6th में इतना है तो finally in January 2016 उसका pay कितना हुआ कि pension will be half of that. On a same model if you take, there is some confusion as far as I am concerned. If you see, you might have been retired in 3rd CPC, you might have retired in 4th CPC, but all this is being wiped out by the war OP. In war OP, you all been supposed to have retired in calendar year 2013. So, for you, 3rd, 4th, 5th has no meaning as far as I am concerned. This is my logic. I may be wrong. So, let us wait for the PCDA Pension Allahabad to give a circular. If it is not suiting my logic, I am going to contest it. Well, I am not I know I retired in 5th CPC, but I am drawing the pension as if I retired on 2013. That is in 6th CPC. So my pension should be fixed from 6th CPC to 7th CPC. That is my logic. But as you know, everybody's logic is his own. It can be wrong, it can be right. Now, 7th CPC recommended 2 types of pension, pay fixations and also pension. One is, for example, if you are a colonel sir, you have retired with 8 increments. Earlier, whether you retired with 1 increment or 2 increment or 10 increments, you get the same pension. Because the 33-year rule has been removed. So whether you are a 20 years full colonel or 34 years full colonel, you get the same pension of 27,795. No benefit is given to your increment. But you all know, your pay is dependent upon your increments. If you have drawn more increments, your pay is more. If your pay is more, your pension has to be more. But government says, no, sabko humne 27,795 Lakshman Rekha, you can't cross that. People have gone to the court and the court has given a judgment in favor of the 53 major generals. They are drawing different pensions. A major general with 30 years service draws X amount. A major general with 38 years service, he draws X plus delta X, much more than a major general with lesser service. So one is increment method, which is this is based upon Supreme Court judgment of General SPS Vines versus Government of India. Okay. Next is the 2.57 method. 2.57 method is, if your number of increments, you and I know it because we retired in 3 years back. Imagine a lieutenant colonel retiring in 1965, 55. How are you going to fix his pension with increments? He would not know the number of increments he drew as a colonel or a lieutenant colonel or a major. It is very difficult. And the 7th CPC knew that this is a different, difficult one, increment method. They said, by till somebody can locate the increments ad hoc, that temporarily we will fix the pension with 2.57. By जो pension आपका 6th CPC में है, you multiply with 2.57, you will be happy. Okay? That is the recommendation of 7th CPC. The government constituted a committee chaired by a secretary in the Ministry of Pension, Personal Public Grievances. Bhaiya, aap dekh lo, this increment method of the 7th CPC, is it feasible to be implemented? They got hold of all the ministries. They found out 18 to 20% of old pensioners who retired in 50s and 60s, उनका record ही तो है ही नहीं है, destroyed है. After 25-30 years, you destroy all the old documents. So उनका increments पता नहीं चलेगा. Then they recommended ये काम करो. If he is alive or if his wife is alive, he or she is drawing a pension. That means PPO तो है ही है ना, बैंक में होगा, PCD pension इलाहाबाद में या Air Force या Navy का PCD में होगा. So you take that figure, multiply with next CPC, you come to that 4th. Then multiply with 5th CPC, multiplication factor, you come to 5th. Multiply with 6th, then 2.57 of the 7th. In this way, it will be easy to fix the pension. Whichever method is beneficial to the pensioner, the pension will do it. That is known as the notional pay fixation method. Next. Which is better? Next. Suppose a civilian was fixed a pay in the 5th CPC period of 10,000 rupees. We let us understand the civilians first, then we will come to the defense services personnel. His pay in the 6th CPC is 1.86 times, and in the 7th CPC, this thing will be 2.57 times pay. That means if we do a pay of 10,000, in the 6th CPC, assumed notional pay, he would have been getting 1,80,600. Assume that he is still serving in 7th CPC. Assume, notional. His pay will be 47,802. Unka to, there is no MSP. So, half of this will be his, sorry, this 47,802, next. you check where it figures in the defense pay matrix for his rank or for his designation. Okay? It comes to 48,500 in the level 3, that means equal to SPY. So his pension will be half of this 48,500, that is 24,250, plus every 6 months you will get DMS. This is how a pension of a civilian has been fixed. Now, there are two schools of thought. If it is applicable to civilians, it should be applicable to defense services personnel. So if a person has retired in 3rd CPC, take his PPO, multiply with 4th CPC multiplication factor, multiply with 5th, multiply with 6th, multiply finally with 2.57, come to the defense pay matrix, add MSP, divide by 2, that will be his pension by this method. Let us see. The other thought like mine is, sorry, I might have retired in 3rd CPC, but I am getting pension as if I have retired in 2013. So my pension should be fixed from 6th to 7th CPC. Nothing to do with the 3rd, 4th, 5th. That is another school of thought. Whichever school of thought is correct, that will be intimated to us by the PCD Pension Allahabad very soon.
DID school of thought is acceptable.
Finally, they are the bosses.
They are that.
Next. Anyway, if you are a brigadier with 32 years service, if you assume that he retired, this is my own case. I got a basic pay of 18,050. My rank pay was 2,400. My pay was 20,450 in the 5th CPC. Okay. Now I want to know what is going to be my pension. Now, notional pay fixation in the 6th CPC, my school of thought, which is I retired in 2013, so my pension is 37,280 already. So notional pay, how do we come to the notional pay? I am retired. It is nothing but your pension multiplied by 2 times minus your MSP. That is your notional pay. So mine comes to 68,560. So I multiply that with 2.57. Everybody's thing is multiplied by 2.57. So my pay, if I were to be a brigadier serving in 2016, it is 176,199, which is the